You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Worldwide. Today is the night where we are not going to be politicizing here. The situation in Ukraine, as you have already heard, around the world is a tough one. But the issue that Africans are questioning and asking, what is the situations of our community out there? Africans are not only Africans on the continent, Africans are everywhere worldwide. So we want to focus on the situation of Africans in the Ukraine. Now, we heard a lot of leaders actually throwing political statement out there, trying to mediate, try to teach Russia or Ukrainians what they should do. But never did we get a communique out there talking about the issue and the situation on the ground regarding Africans in Ukraine. So good evening and welcome to the Pan-African Daily TV this night with Susan Tata. And as you can already see, our brother sitting here and others. We were supposed to have 3 of them, but most of them have just been running around. Some are driving in their cars, some are running from the bombs. We actually don't even know what the situation right now is. But what we see Africans on even on social media, busy tweeting, laughing, dancing, celebrating, whatever. And we begin to ask ourselves, what is just wrong with Africa? The world is going down, and all we don't care about is our people. And a lot of Africans, even on there, when we tweeted, they start asking us, what do you mean by world war? What do you mean by world war? This is just something in Europe. This is just a conflict. Wait a minute. When it's finished in Ukraine, you're going to see where it's going to land on. What about all the conflicts on the continent and the world? Has it ever missed the Africans? Do you think that Ukraine is only made of Ukrainians and Russians? Do you know the population of Africans in Ukraine? You're sitting comfortable in your different zones and busy doing politics or being professionals and scholars. Do you know how much danger your people are in? We're talking about a situation that countries are already evacuating their citizens. And we didn't even hear up to now from an African leader what they're going to do with their children in the Ukraine. But it's not only on the leadership, even you Africans watching me. What are you doing about it? We have seen Russians march out. Germans are marching. People are everywhere actually advocating for peace and even for justice and security, trying to negotiate with the world. We have still to see an African delegation calling on its own citizen out there. And we keep blaming all the time. And we keep talking about it's a problem of leadership. What have you yourself as an African done? What are you doing? What are the youths doing? Do you think this is a joke? It started with World War One, and now you would have been saying, yes, it was a European war. What happened after that? And then they went on into World War II. What happened after that? And now you're joking? This is a superpower. Wars that have been put as sanctions, the Americans, the Germans, the British, China, everywhere. And you keep and tell me it is not something that concerns you. All the conflicts that you're having on the continent, who do you think they're coming from? Where do they originate? What is the hand behind it? What is the purpose? Do you Africans even know the time which you are in right now? Do you have an idea? I'm addressing all of you. Do you have a clue what is going on? And you sit and laugh and you're discussing politics all the time. Now, you Africans are so very illiterate that you're the ones trying to even say whether it's Russia or Ukraine that is wrong. Or we're so good in judging and analyzing and teaching other people what they should know apart from our own self. even in the digital space now, where you can make videos, where you can create content, where you can mobilize. Did you just see the videos that we've been posting out there? Haven't you seen even grandmothers in the Ukraine carrying on weapons to defend themselves? When it comes to us, we put our hands on the head and start calling on the international community. Don't we know that it is the time now that everybody is looking for a way to hide his head and to defend himself? Now, what should the Africans in the Ukraine be doing now? That is what we're going to listen to this brother all the way from Ghana. Students that are there, they're going to tell us exactly what is happening out there. And then you begin to understand that this is not just a European war. It is not just an internal conflict. It is a world war. Good evening and welcome to you, brother. How are you?
I'm okay. And yourself?
As you can see, you're okay. You're sitting in
Well,
Ukraine. Okay.
well, First of all, I want to point and indicate that I was among the few students who escaped and have a narrow escape 2 days before the situation. So I arrived in Ghana 2 days. Then I hear that there was a rain of missiles in Ukraine. And then I'm actually a student leader back in Ukraine. I double as the integration and foreign affairs executive in Ukraine, and then my local vice president. So we have been on top of issues here. We've been in communication with the executive arms of government, talking about ministers and the cabinet of the president, and then of course the Parliament of Ghana as well. We have been on the issue. We have been in touch. So every minute, every seconds, we are updated of what's going on because they are our friends, our colleagues, and family that are over there. So we have been on issues every day. Sometimes we have sleepless nights and all that because we have to make sure to bring everybody to safety. So that is our mandate as student leaders, as concerned citizens, to bring our compatriots to safety. Thank you.
Yeah, so but what are they telling you? What measures are you already taking in terms of safety? We've seen girls or young girls or students that are just running, they're hiding right in the kelas to make. We're going to share those videos out here. So, what is it a matter of just talking and talking to the arms of the government, or what is actually being done now?
Actually, definitely not. I must point out that we have missed the window, the evacuation window. We've missed it because US have alarmed this based on their securities and all that. They call out their people as of a week before 16th of February. Joe Biden has been calling out all US citizens to leave Ukraine immediately. Other countries also have done the same. We have even heard speculations that the Israeli people, that's the Jews, have evacuated about 70,000 people. There's a communique from the Indian High Commission and Moroccan High Commission, and other high commissions have done a lot to give advice and directive to students and Africans in Ukraine to leave. But then in Africa, of course, sub-Saharan Africa or other African countries, we haven't seen such measures taking place. And that is why we are in a situation that we are today. We missed the evacuation window, right?
Can you just give us a statistics of how many Africans? I mean, approximately. I know you probably will be talking about the student statistics, but we know even in the student community,
Right.
more than 3,000 Nigerians. Is that okay?
Yes, definitely. I think we are talking not anything less than the 10,000s. It will definitely be in the thousands and above.
Right. We've been on the issue, and we saw even the Nigerian president talking and warning the president of Russia. And
Right.
did he ever think that his students are in danger? And did he make a statement on that?
Right. Right. Come again, please.
I asked, because there's a video even showing the Nigerian embassy
Right.
relocating. So, where are the destinations, for instance, when people would want to escape from Ukraine, where are they heading to?
Okay, so basically we have what I call the safe havens. We have Poland, we have Romania, we have Hungary, and then we have Moldova and
Mhm.
Romania. So these are the safe havens, and these are the ports of exit for our students, and then we can airlift them from there. But it has not been easy during that exercise. But we are still trying. We are still on board. You know, we had a lot of chaotic and very sad news and event that happened earlier today. We heard that, but we haven't confirmed yet from our president, since they are still on the move. People are moving. Some are already at safety as we speak, and then some are also static. I'm being clueless and still looking for means of transport. You know, so as we speak, there are certain, I mean, pictures and images that have been sent and all that. But I mean, the exercise is still ongoing. We are still trying our best to make sure that every single one of our people get out to safety. But the most troubling and the most concerning thing for me right now, we have one African which has been detained by the Ukrainian immigration at Mykolaiv, a region in Ukraine. He has been detained and won't be allowed to get out of detention so that he can also find his ways to safety. And as of now, we are calling on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ghana. We are in contact with the people who matters to be able to help us bring our people to safety.
Correct.
Right.
You know, when we talk about people running out, we met Dr. Sunday, who is already now somewhere in Poland. I mean, this is a minister of the church with I think the largest population of African churches out there. But he had the maybe the opportunity because he had a car. Now, students like you who don't have a car, and who would have to go through infrastructures and everything is shut down, what kind of possibility do you think they have?
Well, apparently there. I mean, information. I mean, reliable information reaching us from colleagues shows that there can be a lot of traffic on the way. So sometimes students even choose to trek on their feet and all that. And then others are also having organized buses and then public transport. Some are, jumping on train and all that. And they are packed like sardines, moving from left to right and all that. So those are the kind of transport means that we have as of the time.
Wow. Thank you so much, Alpha. Thank you, Abdul. You were supposed to be here with a prof. He is a professor at the medical center, or what is he? I mean, we'll be getting them again in the course of the week, because this week we're going to stay focused on our people in the Ukraine and the situation out there. So I want to call all of you to reach out to these embassies. Now, Alpha, do you have your diplomatic missions out there, right? The African embassies are represented in Ukraine or not?
So we have an honorary consul designate in the person of Albert Kecha. So we don't have a mission in Ukraine, but we have an honorary consul designate. He's
Yes.
designated to oversee the affairs of students out there. So that is what we have. And he is keeping us in touch with our mission in Bern, Switzerland. So we are in touch. So our mission is in Switzerland, but we have an honorary consulate designate for Ghanaians in Ukraine.
We've heard about the many casualties out there, but up to now, we don't know if Africans are out there are involved in these casualties. What will you say about that?
Right. So, well, information reaching us, tells us that, everybody is safe so far as I'm concerned in my recent memory, but then progress are still ongoing. We just recently heard that there was a situation in Sumy State, which is a bit eastern part of Ukraine, close to the Russian border. Yes, as of yesterday, 2 days ago, there was an attack on an agrarian hostel, and the students have to run into bomb shelters in the hostels, go underground to seek shelter and all that. So, so far so good. We are in contact with our PRO in the person of Ben, and a medical student who is currently in 4th year by name Audrey Awini is also briefing us on what is happening on the ground. By far, everybody seems to be safe. So far, we haven't heard of any casualties or fatalities so far. But the most important thing right now is that our fellow Ghanaian, he's in detention by the Ukrainian immigration. We are calling on all authorities to help us bring him out so that he can be on the run to safety. Thank you.
Absolute. That should be done with immediate effect. That should be done with immediate effect. Could you call out his name?
He goes by the name Augustine Safo. Augustine Safo. I think I even made a tweet on it with his passport number and all that. If you want more details, I could send it to you backdoor.
All right. Thank you so very much. It's very, very sad, all of you that are watching us. Like I said before, when something is happening, we have to stay awake. We have to stay alert. When we say wake up Africa, it just means check your surroundings, be attentive to what is going on around the world. Because us on the Pan-African Daily TV, we see the world from an African perspective. What is happening to Africans on the continent and Africans in the diaspora, and how do Africans see and interpret those things? So when we bring a news or broadcast or information, which we are like this, it is always focused on our people in where situations are happening, because nobody would care, right? We haven't seen leaders that are, of course, they are political leaders, and they are trying to put diplomacy in the focus instead of the war. But if you look at it, Abdul, do you think this is something that is going to end so soon?
Sorry, come again.
Do you look at the situation? How can you judge it? I mean, we don't know Ukraine, and do you think it's something that would end up soon, or is something that we say no, we must leave now? It's not a matter of wait and see.
Um, well, as it stands, I mean, I guess it's all about, I mean, the talks have to go on between, of course, Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, and then the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin. I guess these are the people that get us to the place that we are today. So if they're able to understand themselves, I believe that we could be able to see peace coming in the next couple of weeks or months coming up.
Your correspondence there, and even what we're seeing in Europe, is like there are a lot of troops that are there. When troops come in, it's easy to come, but to take them out on a ceasefire, but that's a political statement. What we're concerned about is what about the Ukrainians? How they been living together with you, and in a situation like this, what happens?
Apparently we are going to see human crisis, of course, like people being displaced, lack of confidence in the economy and the place and all that. So definitely we are going to see a lot of refugees and human situation, I mean, illnesses here and there because of transfer of infections in advent of COVID, and then we have the tuberculosis and all that. So we are going to see crisis of war apparently, and then I mean, as you would guess, I mean, it's not going to end up very soon. Of course, it's going to take some time before there is recovery, and it's going to have a long impact, I mean, on history and all that. So, I mean, I don't want to downplay this. Of course, this is war, and then I'm afraid that, I mean, it's not going to take any time soon for us to get back on our feet. I mean, we as a student over there, we are even concerned as of our education, because I will be a medical doctor in May, June, and then right now I have no idea what my future holds up to. So we are just hoping and praying that things can get into order pretty soon so that we can get back on track.
Who? Yes, we saw that organization, and I want to first of all congratulate you for what you are doing, because we went through that research, and the student bot out there is really active. It's really active. You've been trying, even being on the evacuation. That is a wonderful steps that you're doing, not just for yourself, but in your profession and for people like this. What would you advise other diasporan communities? It could happen anywhere, anytime soon. What should we be on the alert for?
Well, I guess one thing that we have learned in this situation is about records, data, because there are some Africans that are not very concerned about being together, being in union, They like to be individual and all that. This has
Exactly.
really, because like, I think something that is really troubling for us is to find a good data on our people to be able to map them. So joining groups and then being as part of communities and all that is very important, because in dire times like this, the most important thing is you need this information. And if you're already not part of a group, when the information is given, you will not be able to have the useful information to be able to escape and then come to safety. So this is something that is that I would advise and highly recommend, that, I mean, we in the diaspora should be careful about that. Data, information, those things, and joining groups and caucuses of African people and all that is very important from experience.
Absolutely. Yes, not only in the community of residents as well. Imagine, are you networking with other organizations that are like student organizations out of Ukraine, or just within Ukraine, or in neighboring Scandinavian countries as well? This is a network that has to grow, isn't it?
Right, 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 right. Right. So basically that is my office. I'm responsible to foreign affairs and internal integration. Effort has been done that way, and that is why we have been able to make certain moves and all that. So yeah, that is very important.
Thank you so much, Alpha. It's unfortunate that we couldn't get your colleagues here. What is the way forward? What do you think should be happening in the next days? What should we be
Okay.
paying attention to?
Yeah, I think what we should be paying attention to is that we have to do mapping. You know, we have to map out our students and know what locations everybody is and how many people we have at this vantage point so that we will be able to evacuate them safely. Or when we hear something, we can be able to check on them. Because right now, people are moving in segregations and all that. And we have no idea what is happening, who is suffering, who needs help, and all that. So we should be looking at, our security councils, giving advices and helping countries and all that, how people can evacuate safety and how they should be traveling, what they should be looking out for, and what shelter and how they should be moving. These are what we should be looking out for. And then also trying to get social amenities like food, and then all the water supply and all that. Because I hope that we will not get to the point where we are going to be importing water from Africa to Ukraine.
Wow. Wow. So Africa can save the world. We're seeing it
Right.
happening and it's not impossible. So, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, just take a look at some videos that we put out there or that were tweeted or that were sent to us. There are a lot of them, but we're just going to show you just a little bit for you to understand the situation and how Africans are stuck and abandoned in the Ukraine war right now. Take a look.
Hello everyone, I'm speaking right now from Kiev. Actually, I'm outskirts of Kiev in European at a basement, trying to get shelter from the bombings and explosions that we've been hearing around. It's really not easy being here, and the condition of our living is not good. It's really cold, and for the past 3 days it's been hard to get good sleep. And many of us are getting sick because of the cold. I'm getting sick because of the cold also. So we need more of your prayers because this is a very unexpected, situation, and we never saw this coming. But it's here, and we need to stand together and pray and support those that are here any way that you can. So only God can save us.
Thank you very much. You heard that. Just take a look again at this other one.
Hello, everybody. This is DSA here, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, Pastor Sunday. I want to use this opportunity to thank everybody, all the people that have been supporting us, that have been praying for us, that have been asking about my whereabouts. This is a video that I've been looking forward to do in the last 48 hours. This is the first time I and my family have been able to have a place to put our head in the last 48 hours. We've been traveling. Sometimes we walk, sometimes we run, sometimes we're in the car, standing in the long queue of people who want to escape for their life in Ukraine. I'd wanted to stay back and send my wife to try to get out of the country if necessary. But then I got an information that in a few days, that was 2 days ago, that the Russians were going to actually enter Kyiv. And from the American intelligence, we got to know that they have a list of people for elimination. And this is not ordinary people, but it is for influential people, people who have public opinion, and that I am on that list. And I know that I'm on the list because I already got, I was already a persona non grata in Russia since 2005. I've been a personal enemy of Vladimir Putin for close to 20 years now. He banned me from going to Russia. They took, anyway, that's another story. So I know I will be on that list. But before I left, we were able to gather some African students in my house. Some people live with me, and some people came to join. But we have an underground bunker in our house, so everybody in my house now are in the underground bunker. I would have lived there, I would have stayed back, but when I was told that I am in the list and that Russia was going to enter the city, all my leaders in the church and people said I must leave. So I have to quickly arrange for myself and Pastor Bosse to go to a safe place. So as I'm talking to you right now, we are in a safe place. I cannot give you more details than that, but the most important thing is that we are no more in that place where the bomb and where the shelling, because the shelling, some of you saw the picture of the bridge that leads to my house, but we were able to escape before that was done. Otherwise, we would have been able to escape. So, and the shelling is just all around our house. And as the things are right now, we just want to let you know that we're in a safe place. That's the most important thing. And we want to let you know that your prayers should keep on going for a lot of other people that are left in Ukraine, for Ukrainian citizens, millions of Ukrainian citizens, foreigners, students, families. Yeah, just keep on praying for Ukraine. But I must tell you, I and my wife, we are in a safe place right now. Thank you for everything. We'll keep you updated.
That one.
You are saying the other boss. What would you do? Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much. You can just a little bit to show you the picture. We want to really congratulate the Nigerian embassy. As you see in this last video, they sent a whole bus, but these are for their diplomats. This is the embassy of Nigeria in Kiev, and they are relocating or evacuating the staffs and everyone out there. But what about the local people, students, immigrants that travel there for whatever reason? What about them? So it's not about just getting, a diplomatic corps, put even their flags there, the holding that Nigerian is. It's about the concern of Africans in Ukraine right now. And like we say, our prayers keep going on, like the pastor told us, or the world is going somewhere else that we cannot say. And be it in Ukraine or on the continent or everywhere that Africans are. Alpha, you saw those images and those voices. What would you say about them?
It's not easy. It's not easy. I just don't know what to say. I don't have the right words to put together, because I think my words have all been consumed by emotions.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. I can understand. All of us are really on this, and we cannot do any other thing than just pray and continue to speak out, to share these stories out there so that people can really get concerned. Sometimes it's misleading. You're hearing something else. It's just as if it's just Russia and the Ukraine government, but it's more about the people, isn't it?
Right.
All right. Thank you so much. I think one thing that we have learned today, or we are seeing this situation, we're going to keep an eye on it. Ukraine is the top on the list everywhere. You see the mainstream medias, sorry, coming out with reports and news and stories. Definitely, we would have been in Ukraine, but it was not possible because the boundaries now are really getting shut from our end. The Pan African Daily TV, we really wanted to be on the ground and to find out and to see it for ourselves as well. But right now, we're keeping it really safe. And thanks to digital opportunities like these ones that we have, we can get you live. What is it that you want to leave us with, Alpha? What should we be doing? I'm sorry.
Okay. I guess my single appeal and request to you is that in these trying times, we are in difficult times. Let's all help. Support. Brothers and sisters in the diaspora in this situation with all means that we can. And again, I want to end this on the note of calling for help for Augustine Safo, the guy who is in detention by the immigration. I'm calling on all the ears it falls on to be able to reach out, to be able to talk to the immigration so that they will allow him to run to safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much. Tomorrow we're going to be live again in the afternoons on the situation in Ukraine and
Okay.
all the break-ins around. We want to analyze some stories out there. Thank you so very
Okay.
much, Alpha, for being our guest tonight. We're going to keep in touch with you as the
Sure.
situation unfolds
Sure.
on the ground. Thank you. Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me. Good night.
Thank you
Bye
too.
bye.
Thank you. Yes. Um, One thing is very clear. The more the heat, the more the unity, the more we get really united. Now we've seen, and this story should be an eye awakener or eye opener for all of us. If you're still living that kind of a single life in your hole or wherever you are, just know that issues will happen like this. They won't even know where to trace you. They won't even know where to find you. Unity is what we preach here. It's not a unity that we're asking that just be available. Unity means be available. Just be available. Where can we find you in case of some things like this, or in case of just good things? Why not? But you just being torn apart. A lot of students, a lot of Africans, when they get into Europe, they get infected by the European sickness of staying yourself, staying to yourself. That's integration for the African when they come here. Integration means, no, I just find my own corner, I mind my business, I just do my own things. Oh, these Africans, I don't want to even get into their wahala again. I don't want to get into their trouble. It is so notorious of us that we're so disunited in the diaspora than the continent. This is so crazy how it is. I don't know how to put it again so that we can understand. The Africans in Europe or in situations here, they don't even greet one another on the street. They're we're so separated. You have the ones that call themselves the students, particularly the students. The students don't mingle with the hustlers. Hustlers don't mingle with immigrants or refugees. Refugees don't mingle, I don't know with who. So the more we get out of the continent, we become even so contaminated, like I can say. For us, the African understands integration here is like be on yourself. Learn the fashion, learn the culture, and then just be yourself. Mind your business. So when they meet another African, it's a wahala, it's a problem. Now I don't want to get mixed up. We're even so inferior against one another. That's how sick we are. It is even better on the continent. On the continent, we're fine. And on the continent, we're all of us. That's where you still feel the family, the love, the affection. But particularly the migrants, I'm addressing this to the migrant communities. The migrant communities are the oversabis in Europe. They're the ones that think that they've arrived to a place where maybe they never dreamt to come, and they pick up this attitude so soon. But now, this is a situation that is coming and is getting very hot. So you better begin to throw those bad habits, go back to who you are. Family, find out one another. What is happening in my environment? Register with an organization. We have a lot of organizations, student bodies, associations, tribal organizations. We've tried to regroup ourselves. You search anywhere, you're going to find African organizations that you can register. You can put your face there. Whether you're a refugee, build those groups, belong to somewhere, make yourself available. Now we see a couple of times, like he's saying, passports have been circulated online about Africans that die in their houses or something just happened to them. No connection with their families back. Nobody even knows. They have to send your passport, online. Do you know this person? Do you know his family? They say he's a Cameroonian. They say she's a Ghanaian. She's a this. What kind of thing is that? In every community, whether it is in how do I want to call it? In Sri Lanka, you find Africans everywhere. We are everywhere. And the communities are always everywhere. If you live in a community with your brothers and your sister, nobody knows anything about you. And until you die, then they start beginning to find out. Like he said, data is one of the most important things. So sometimes when we put our face out and we're busy in community activities, Africans think we just want to be celebrity. We just want to be, it's because we know too much. No, it's because it's very necessary. And that's our culture of belonging. The culture of unity and family is very important. Now we see the situation in Ukraine. We don't know. To be honest with you, I am very damn so sure that we are involved, that we have casualties there. Where are you going to see it? How are we going to see it? How are we going to know? Nobody's even going to know about us. So sometimes even when we die, we're existing. They don't know about us. Even when you die, nobody knows about you. Whether you were dying in the oceans or we're dying in wars like this, can you imagine the trauma that we give to our families, even to our own selves, and even to us as a family? So please make sure you make yourself available. When situation happens like this, it's an eye-opener for all of us to wake up. We keep saying the unity of Africa doesn't mean that all the political states, 54 states, fight and become one Africa. Of course, when we say one Africa is, I know that my brother is here, my sister is here. That's how we are. Where did we learn this kind of bad attitude, bad fashion, like we say? Where did we learn this bad fashion of just, yes, we might have our differences. Is that a problem? But I know where to reach you. I have a contact about you. If I don't see you and I worry about you or I hear a news, I know where to reach you. But when you just leave and just think that you are, how do we call it? A crocodile that is swimming in water and can just become fish. You are an African. You're not a European. You can carry European passport. We're even angry when Germans say, oh, this is an African with a German passport. And Africans are so pissed up and they're angry. They want to be called Germans. Do you look like a German? Right? So yes, passport, nationalities, that is it. Whether you're African American, America is the status that you have, but you're Africans. That's what we said yesterday. And so no passport is going to take your identity and your culture away from you. So we get it and get it right straight. It's already burning out in Ukraine. Watch out. Nobody's praying for anything, but please go into your weekend safely. Advise your people. If you are connected and you are in your community, watch out for one another. We don't have time anymore. We don't have time to sit here and just be talking about, oh, it's the leaders. The leaders are not doing this. Look at our leaders. Hey, the whole Facebook or on Pan-African Daily TV Facebook, they're tweeting. Oh, look at the leader of China is saying this, or sorry, of Kenya just said that Russians should do this. What about you? What about you? It's about every individual. When we say we are 2 billion people on the planet, I'm counting on every one of us. The leaders, maybe they're just 1,000 of them. Who is the majority? What are you doing about that? That's the question. And that's the new Africa. It's not about you or me. It's about a collective. All of us as a family. Thank you. And I would like to end here and say, we are going to continue on this situation in Ukraine. Please be on the watch for your people. Share information as much as possible. Call out to find out. Talk to your embassies, to your diplomats. Find out about the situation in your countries. It's not easy. Everywhere our people are being missing. So we're going to be reaching out to these communities and to find out what is going on. So I want to wish you a good night, and we're going to see ourselves tomorrow in the afternoon when we get the connections out there. We're going to be on Ukraine, the situation out there. Good night. Bye-bye. Good weekend to you.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want. Unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.